Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Hello, Nelson. How are you?
I'm good. Maybe I should call you Michael Sickington.
Well, I've never been so offended.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe I meant like cool. You know how the kids say? Oh, you're so sick.
Yeah, okay.
You're so sick, I'm going to call you Sicko Sickington.
The worst part is I have been a little sick, but not in any interesting way.
Yeah.
It's just vaguely sick. It's no good.
Like if you had, I don't know, an inflamed kidney, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, how'd it get inflamed?
But apologies to all the listeners for our one-day tardiness.
Yeah.
I made fun of you.
And did I make fun of you,
No.
Cambo? No.
You were the bigger man.
I'm the bigger man?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously until right now.
Yeah,
where I'm pointing it out.
And height-wise, I think we're like the exact same
We're
height.
pretty similar, yeah. So, anyway, I take the high road. What else did you get up to this week, Cambo, aside from just letting your immune system just suck?
Really, really nothing interesting. But
Okay.
I did see a rare sight that filled my heart with joy. It's not that interesting. So
Yep.
I'll preface my story with that.
Okay.
Just in case. I should preface all my
I
stories
still-
with that.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting, but I met John Wayne, and I know he's dead, but...
Yeah, I
and
think
they're like, no, that is interesting.
that's a good one. Yeah, you should. Don't
No,
need a preface.
This isn't that good. But
Maybe we should. Can we preface the whole podcast with that?
Yeah.
Just now for future episodes.
Yeah.
This podcast might not be that interesting.
Yeah. And then...
There we
then-
go. That's it.
Yeah.
We've covered all bases.
No, but obviously, like the whole housing market, especially in Melbourne and Sydney, has gone kind of crazy. But I was walking past like a live auction that was just about to start for an apartment in quite a fancy area.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm gonna stick around see what happens.
Okay.
there. And I've never seen an auctioneer really disconnect with the crowd so quickly.
Yeah.
So he started his opening bid, and someone bids right away. And he goes, "All right, can I get another bid? Any other bid? Another bid? Anyone? No, we can't. Really? No one's going to take another bid." And there was only 4 bids in the whole thing, and they all came at the last moment.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic.
Well, funnily enough, Cambo, that's actually how it usually goes.
Really?
Yeah, the TV makes it seem like people are bidding left, right, and center. Oh, it's going crazy. But quite often, they value the property significantly lower than it's actually worth online, so more people turn up, because apparently you're more likely to sell it or sell it for higher. And so normally there's just like, one bid, and then they... then take it to the vendor and get back again. And it's super uninteresting.
It's exactly what happened. There was the going once, going twice, going 3 times. I will just have to talk.
I know. They make it sound like, I think they're hoping there's a whole lot of like first time home buyers that are like, oh my God, he's about to see 3. I'm thoroughly disappointed at those things. I think you're better off just selling your house without an auction.
Yes.
That's what I say.
Without the
Probably
help of a
technically
third
not
party,
true.
would you say?
Yes.
But no, Nelson, you work for a company that...
We don't sell houses. I don't care.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, do what you want then.
Rent it to us. Rent it to us afterwards. I mean, not that we'll get a rental for... Anyway, no worries.
Also, don't break the illusion, Nelson. We don't have other jobs. We're full-time podcasters.
Really? Man, we're terrible at this.
I know.
We're a day late. We had one thing to do this entire week.
And we didn't tell anyone. But
that's right.
Here's the thing that really gets me. No one asked. No one was like, boys, where's that podcast? It's normally out by now. No one noticed.
They were probably real busy. Listeners, we get it. You got things to do. I mean, we got a podcast that we do once a week. Things get tough sometimes. We do it the day after. You don't notice, that's fine. You're probably doing something else. It's probably more important. They might be buying houses, Cambo.
Could be. Or not.
All right, Cambo. Well, here's a Reddit on Reddit for you.
Okay.
This one is by That's Landon. This was in... crap, I should have written it down. It was in a subreddit called... Crazy Ideas.
Okay, cool.
All right?
Yep.
I'm liking this one
Yeah.
for potential future segments.
Okay.
So this person's crazy idea is create a system like church where a large group of people meet up and listen to a person speak. But rather than talking about religion, they instead discuss non-religious philosophical ideas and celebrate different ways of thinking. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. But does that not exist at all? Surely there is some kind of...
I don't know where it is. Does it exist? I don't think it does.
Is it Reddit?
Oh.
See what I'm saying? It's not, because Reddit's full of racists.
Yeah. It has the subreddit, The Donald.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point that you bring up. That it sort of is Reddit,
or just
in a way.
The internet in general isn't the grandiose idea of the internet, and it's not really even what it is that it's kind of freedom of expression and everyone has a fair playing field.
That's true, but I think the problem with the internet is that it doesn't filter stupidity.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the problem. And see, Reddit sort of does, in the sense of upvoting and downvoting and those sort of things. But occasionally there'll be something really dumb that slips through that gets like 10,000 upvotes.
But should stupidity be filtered, or should it be allowed to speak so everyone can be like, no, that's stupid?
I think you don't necessarily... Okay.
Like, not everybody... Like, everybody should have the right to speak, surely. Okay.
I'm not really a fan of that, to be honest.
Right.
In fact, I think that is where the internet has led us astray. Because too many idiots can put their opinions online. And you're like, well, you're not educated on this topic. And sure, I've done it before.
But that means that this whole podcast goes. Because what are we if not an uneducated comment on just absolute, like, what do we say of value?
But if I'm correct, see, this is going to be like a forever infinite loop, right?
A snake eating its own tail.
Yeah, because if I'm right, then I've brought something to the table.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then they're like, well, these guys aren't stupid.
Yeah, but
then they listen to another episode of ours.
One where we talk about having sexual intercourse with coconuts.
Yeah, that's
for a
true.
good 40
well,
minutes.
In our defense, that was Reddit itself.
Yeah,
in fact,
true.
everything we do is Reddit.
Also, listeners might be keen to know, we had to submit an episode to be nominated for an Australian Podcast Award.
Yes.
And we submitted an episode
Yeah.
about having sexual intercourse with a coconut.
Yeah.
And that segment went for a very long time.
Yeah.
And as it happens, we weren't nominated.
Yeah, that's right. Weird.
We're still trying to find out why.
So strange.
We actually talked about it on that night, and you were like, maybe that wasn't the one.
Yeah, it wasn't just that, because I did listen to a little bit of that episode before submitting. I wasn't going to listen to the whole thing, obviously, but as I did, I was like, oh, look, this is kind of funny, and yeah, it's a bit crass, but whatever. And then. But then the funny thing was, I think I submitted the episode and then got back into my car like the next day, and I was like, "Oh, look, I'll just finish the episode." It was a really long episode, and it got really boring towards the end. So
that's good. It's good that we can self-reflect.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, this wasn't what the topic was about.
That's true. Okay, wait. This is what I was thinking though. So I don't think there is anything like this. Although yes, Reddit. Good point.
Yep.
But I think the idea of eliminating stupidity, or just the average person's viewpoint would be a good, like, I want to go to a place, right? I want to go to a church where it's just a like philosopher, or somebody that's I feel as though has put in the miles, has done the research and thought process, and knows different points of view that have been brought up, and then they just talk about. And I don't think they necessarily spew answers, right? In fact, I think it should be very much against that.
Okay.
But I think it should talk about better ways to live, because essentially, this is the thing. Sure, I'm an atheist. I don't really believe in God.
You shock me.
But religion and church in particular, that does a lot of good for some people.
Yeah.
So I feel as though, and the whole idea is, in church, you essentially talk about being a better person in a way.
Right.
But underlying that is this prejudice that it's like, well, be a better person, but also, you know, some people don't believe in what we believe in, you know, and there's that kind of prejudice of like, well, there's people out there that aren't one of us.
Yeah.
And I feel as though if you just replicated the same sort of thing, this philosopher talks about life, how you should live your life, how you should treat people, you know, and how that's like been reflected in history and people's research and blah, blah, blah. Something that's genuinely interesting.
It sounds a lot like a TED Talk.
Yeah, I think so. You just get a whole bunch of...
Do you just want to go to a TED Talk?
You know what? TED Talks lately have really dropped the bar.
They will let anyone talk.
Yeah, I know. Now they're like, oh my God, we let all the interesting people talk. We have nobody left.
Yeah.
I guess we'll... I watched one the other day. There's this guy he was like, oh, I can show you that anyone can draw.
I was about to mention that one. I watched it. No, they can't.
It was terrible drawing. I was like, well, you've just done a nose, eyes, and a mouth. Anybody can do that. It wasn't good.
Sure, technically anyone can draw.
Yeah, that's right.
We're talking about drawing well to like a semi-professional level.
I think the problem was this guy took it literally when his friends, you know, he's like, oh, let's draw something. And they're like, oh, I can't draw. And he just thought, oh my God, so many people can't draw. But what they meant was they can't draw well. Okay?
Guys, everyone can technically draw.
Exactly.
Do people not know this?
My niece is 2. She can draw. Okay? Anybody can draw.
Yeah, so...
Actually, she can't. She's horrible, to be honest. She just scribbles on the page. It's kind of embarrassing.
Kid drawings. Don't get me started on kid drawings. But the proportions are all wrong all the time.
I know.
If they're big as a house, how are they going to live in it? Idiot.
Don't get me started on colouring in.
Okay.
Oh, God. In between the lines would be great.
But what you want is some kind of a church that is like the TED Talks of old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. I would probably go to that. But probably not religiously, you could say.
And certainly not on a Sunday morning.
I think that's the worst time to ever go.
Tuesday night. I'd go on a Tuesday night.
Well, who's doing what Tuesday night? Nothing. Oh, wait, cheap movie tickets there.
Oh, yeah, true. When I have trivia on Wednesday. What about Thursday? Can you do it?
Yeah, Thursday works for me.
Thursday night. All right. Whoever who posted this?
That's O'Landon.
That's O'Landon. Can you organise this for a Thursday night in Melbourne, please?
Yeah, in Melbourne. I don't know where you are in the world. Specifically, just get the greatest minds.
Yeah,
to
south
speak.
of Melbourne would be good for us.
Yeah, that's right. So cheers, thanks for that. But I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Cool. Should we do it? No. No, I'm kind of over it. Let's get into Today I Learned. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that. Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Chunk of What.
Ooh.
Or Chunk of What? I don't know why. It just feels like it feels right to say it that way.
Yeah, do what feels right.
Chunk of What? Today I learned...
Oh, the listeners just turned off.
Oh, God. Again. Join us next week with another episode. Okay. Today I learned that male spiders give female spiders gifts of prey wrapped in silk to increase mating success.
Ooh.
Wrapping the gift in silk prevents the female from stealing it without copulating and sometimes conceals that the gift is just random trash. I thought this was perfect.
Us and spiders are not so different after all.
I know. I thought, we were very different. But this is brilliant. Although I just feel like I could learn something from spiders in this situation. Yeah. You know? First of all, giving a gift. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not do that?
I've never done it specifically for like, hey, I'll give you this if we can have sex.
That's prostitution.
Yeah.
But like you've given a gift to win favor.
Yeah, I'm sure I have. Yeah.
Because I mean, the very, very like I guess if you water it right down, it's buying someone a drink at a bar is like the classic. That's like you get them something to win their favor.
No, I think that's the alcohol
right.
that limits their inhibition.
No, you get them
for their better judgment.
You get them a vodka and raspberry wrapped in silk.
Oh, see, that's what I'm thinking, right? This is what I'm thinking. I'm a bloody idiot. I've been getting them flowers and
Right.
just bloody giving it to them.
Yeah.
And,
Wrap up
like
some
in
trash
this,
and silk.
like in, like in this scenario, sometimes the females will steal said gift. Mm-hmm. The amount of times
Right.
I've given a bouquet of flowers to a woman and she's just run off laughing. And I'm there red faced.
Yeah.
I hate it. So I'm thinking just it'd just be a ball of silk, I guess.
With just a note on it that says "real gift."
yeah. But here's the kicker: not a real gift.
Oh, you surprised me again.
That's it. That's how you get them.
All right.
I think it's such a dick move for these spiders, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh man, I'm an unemployed spider. I haven't been doing very well, but I really want to get laid.
Because it just paints the mental image of this lady spider having a cigarette post coitus. You know? She's like, oh, the gift. Oh yeah, I'll open this. She opens it up, and all this trash kind of falls out, and then she looks back across, and there's just an empty bed next to her, and the door's just closing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done it again.
Thanks for having my kids. Bye.
I also this is very tangentially connected to this.
Okay.
But I'm part of a Facebook group that has a whole lot of Americans, but they're talking about Australia. It's the Planet Broadcasting
Okay,
group.
right.
So a lot of Americans ask a lot of things they hear about Australians in the group.
Okay.
And one of them said, I was just told that it's a saying in Australia, we're not here to fuck spiders, means we're not here to mess around. Is this true? Because last time every time I check this, you guys make up a lot of stuff about your own culture.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if I've heard that before.
have you not heard that? It's a very kind of bogany saying.
I feel like we're not here to blah, blah, blah. I've probably heard many a time. But specifically, we're not here to fuck spiders?
You've not heard it?
I don't know.
No, see, I have heard that, just in conversation.
Right.
It's a real sarcastic thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if you turned up and sat down behind the microphone and I said, oh, you're here to podcast, and you'd be like, well, I'm not here to fuck spiders.
Yeah. But what if I was there to fuck spiders?
Right.
Then I guess I'd say yes.
Not here to record a podcast every Monday or Tuesday if one of us is unwell.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Do you know what this made me also think of? Which is not that interesting now that I think about it. But we already prefaced this.
I see that you're learning. You're learning.
Yeah, okay. I take that back.
This is very interesting.
No, not that it's interesting. It's just that we've already shielded ourselves from expectation.
What other podcast lowers expectations so much?
Yeah, it's a unique experience, really. So, I used to be a smoker, and I remember. Have you ever like thrown something in a web, even when you were younger, to be like try and get the spider out? You know,
No.
try and get the spider to like attack the thing.
Not really. Is that a thing that you do?
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing because you know that bugs run into it.
Yeah.
And then the spider's meant to come out and like attack it.
Right.
And I feel as though in my youth, I've occasionally just been like, oh, I'll try this out. I'll throw a stone at it. I'm like, no, that's too heavy. I found out if you want to try this and you happen to be a smoker, cigarette ash is exactly like a bug.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that will guarantee you a spider arriving.
Yeah. I flicked a bit of cigarette ash onto a web, and then the spider came out and started like wrapping it up. It was really cool.
Oh,
I did it.
Probably gave it to a lady spider later on as a gift.
Yeah, I reckon it probably did. I reckon I did it 6 or 7 times. I mean, that spider's definitely got cancer by now, for sure. And I think probably just annoyed at me just flicking this cigarette ash, and it's like, oh, this time it'll be a bug.
Like, it's probably him again.
Yeah.
But if it is a bug, I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, but I'm real hungry. So, okay. How about I give you another one,
Sure.
Cambo? This is by Nutty Sai. Today I learned stethoscope. The stethoscope was invented when a gentleman... gentleman is in quotes.
Okay.
When a gentleman...
So they were having to go.
French doctor got too embarrassed to check the heartbeat of a female patient by tapping at her chest. So he rolled up a sheet of paper to create a tube and then placed it on her chest. The method worked, and the stethoscope was invented.
Why did they put gentleman in quotation marks? Because that is quite a gentlemanly thing to do.
Yeah, I think they're implying... Well, they didn't want you to be like, oh, it wasn't just a man.
So they were trying to emphasize gentleman.
Emphasize that he was a
They should have put it in bold.
Idiots. Yeah, I thought that's interesting. I mean, that guy's probably gay, which is fine.
What? No.
No, it's fine.
But
As if when, back in the day, being like a perk of being a doctor is like, hey, get to put your ear against a breast.
But do you think if you were actually, I don't know, maybe. Okay, this isn't that interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. If you were going to the doctor as a lady and put yourself in that head like that mindset.
Okay.
And the doctor said, all right, I'm going to have to check your heartbeat now.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tapped on your chest. You'd be like, well, this is ridiculous. Or do you think you'd be like, no, this makes sense. Check where my heart is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's right, I guess.
So, well, my point is that he was... I mean, stethoscopes are a good thing anyway. But he was essentially solving maybe a problem that wasn't there.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it.
Do you think it's the opposite where he's like, maybe because you were assuming he's gay, but maybe he's not, but maybe he's like too many breasts throughout the day. It's taking the magic away.
Okay. He can't look at a breast anymore without thinking about an exam.
Exactly.
A prostate exam. I don't know why prostate. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's true. He's like, oh, it's just ruining it for me.
Yeah.
Okay. I just think there would be a bunch of other male doctors, that were annoyed by this invention. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I think it probably, back in those days would have been the best part of a male doctor's day.
So do you imagine, like, you always see in, like, old photos and stuff, the big, like, lecture halls where doctors used to hold court.
Yeah.
And he was there and there was all these doctors around. It's like... Gentlemen, I've discovered a way that we don't have to touch any breasts anymore to listen to the heartbeats. And everyone goes, oh,
what are you doing? And I'd like the idea that most of them stopped, just didn't implement the stethoscope. Right. Didn't buy them from him, But then all the women kept going to this guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, ugh, I guess.
You've ruined it. The jig is up.
Yeah, exactly. But I tell you what, females will never be doctors, that's for sure. I don't even know how long ago this was. Yeah. Maybe, might not have been that long ago. I do think it's really interesting how some things are invented like that,
Yeah.
You just rolled up a bit of paper and was like, oh, that's a good idea.
Well, necessity is the father of invention. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's how inventions normally work.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not often people sitting around being like, what could be invented?
I mean, people say that.
People do try to do that. By people, I mean my grandfather.
Have you seen Kickstarter lately?
Oh, yeah.
That is just a bunch of people sitting around being like,
it's a real...
I know we've got a wallet already, but what if this one...
Is your wallet too thick?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Well, here's a thinner one.
I got sucked into that for sure. That exact thing.
Really?
It was a wallet and it was just for cards, and you sort of flick it up and it spreads the cards evenly so it's easy to grab each one, except the one at the very back, just by the way. That was very annoying. So I got these, and the worst part about Kickstarter is like, oh, hey, do it now, and we'll give it to you in 3 years' time.
Yeah.
So you're waiting for ages. And then I got it. It could only hold like 3 cards.
Oh.
No spots of coins, that's fine. I knew that going into it.
Yeah.
But if you put just one note in there, it was far too chunky for the wallet. So I was like, well, this is completely useless because I will occasionally have a note or something that I need to put into my wallet. It was just such a stupid idea. Anyway.
Well, Kickstarter, they've gone the way of TED Talks, haven't they?
Yeah, I think
they've opened the floodgate.
Yeah, that's right.
And unlike everything, the common man has ruined it.
Yeah. God damn you, common man. Okay. Well, Cambo, maybe we should move on to shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, thoughts, thoughts.
Just before we go on,
Sure.
Mitch gave me crap last week. Friend of the
Okay.
show, Mitch, gave me some crap last week because he said I forgot to credit the Reddit. Did I credit the last Reddit? Nutty Sai? Did I say
I
that?
don't think you did, actually.
Okay, that last one was by Nutty Sai. Let's get into shower thoughts.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yep.
Do you want to play the intro? No, don't worry about it. Okay, this is by Don't Fear the Truth.
Okay.
The generation that put flaming bags of dog shit on people's doorsteps is criticizing children who make rude internet pictures. This is kind of true.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
getting some shit,
Right.
putting it into a bag,
Yeah.
lighting it on fire,
Yeah.
ringing somebody's doorbell?
It's a commitment.
It just seems like a lot of effort.
But I feel like you, as the person doing that, go through more than the person who's...
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's so annoying. And surely it doesn't take... Okay, I get the idea is that they stamp on it and then they get dog shit.
Yeah, but you have to handle that before.
Is that the first reaction when you go to a door? There's something fire. Would you immediately start stomping up? Let's say that you've never heard of the thing before.
Yeah, I might. Yeah,
I'd be like,
happen.
oh man, that doesn't look good. Well, I guess I'll get some water.
It
Like
depends.
it doesn't. To me, it doesn't seem like it really so imminent a problem that.
Oh no, a small contained fire.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm not like losing my shit over this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like, the youth of today is doing much better
Yeah. I mean,
than lighting bags of shit on fire.
plus they're learning a skill, Photoshop.
Exactly.
You can use that in the future.
That could be so useful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I read on Reddit
What?
the other day? There was some guy talking about, hey, how do you make extra money just on the side? And some guy wrote that he makes $4,000 a month because he uses a program called Blender,
Yep.
which is 3D modeling
Yep.
and animation and stuff as
Yep.
well. And he reckons he makes $4,000 a month just extra on the side just because he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's brilliant. That's so good. Like, so many... I just think that's really interesting that you can just learn a skill
Uh-huh.
and then instantly make money off it.
Learn a skill that's annoying.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
They tried to teach us Blender in film school, and
Right.
it's so finicky.
Yeah, it's pretty-
Yeah, you'd pay $4,000 not to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Here I am, didn't learn anything. I thought I could get by in life.
With your charm and your good looks.
Yeah.
And they went.
I didn't get any of those things. Okay, here's another one. This is by Socks Too Big.
Okay.
Everyone knows what elevator music is, but no elevators seem to play music.
Yeah, very true. I mean,
It's depressing.
or is that, because I'm thinking back in all my recent elevator trips, is that just because I constantly have headphones in?
Oh. Can be. There's always music playing.
Yeah.
Always.
at any
Everywhere.
given time.
Not even in elevators. It's just going. And you're oblivious to it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a throwback to the 1950s like department store elevators that were manned by someone.
Yeah. But I think...
Just like I would say that there's a certain style of music that people call porn music, which I would say is never in porn.
that's
A
true.
lot of slap bass and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then how come... Are there like millennials that just don't know this exists? When people are like, elevator music, they're like, what? What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Gramps?
Did that happen to you?
No. I started singing Girl from Ipanema. Is that even the right song?
I don't know.
That's the one that goes...
There's a whole generation of people that don't know a lot of things. I went to a talent...
Tell me more.
Well, I will. Yeah, this isn't that interesting. Good, that's out of the way. I went to a talent show recently, and and two people performed Tribute by Tenacious D.
Oh, love
Right?
that song.
Yeah, right.
Very
Okay.
good.
Good reaction.
Yeah.
So the next day, we were talking about it, and there was a young girl, and I think she's 20, right?
Right.
And someone said, "Oh yeah, they played Tribute by Tenacious D, but it was a little off. I didn't quite feel it." And she goes, "Yeah, is that a real song?"
What? Oh my god.
And I kind of went, "What? What do you mean?" She's like, was that a funny version, or is the song like that?" I was like, "Have you not heard of Tribute?" She's like, "No. What's that?" I said, "Do you know Tenacious D with Jack Black?" She
What
goes,
is the world
"No."
coming to? Oh my god. I never thought I'd see the day where A, somebody hadn't heard of it, and B, that I'd care so much.
but it's not like it's a young kid either.
Yeah,
This is a
20.
fully functioning adult.
I'm 28. That's a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
I've also realized.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You do realize. Yeah. It's like there's a whole generation that would only know the floppy disk as the save icon on a computer.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not going to know what a floppy disk is.
Yeah, I've heard that about that before. Okay, here's how we solve it. Tribute song in elevators
Nice.
and pornos. I'd watch that porno for sure. Okay, here's another one. This is by Ultra Nothing.
Okay.
They said, "The internet isn't full of stupid people. The world is. The internet is just the proof."
Oh yeah.
This is what we were talking about earlier in the episode.
Did people think that there was just these stupid entities floating around on the internet that didn't have a body attached?
No, I think that perhaps some people thought that. Yeah, I don't know.
Just all the idiots came to the internet.
Yeah, the idiots came to the internet.
Right, but
no,
that's just a representation.
but it's like a minority in the real world, but on the internet.
Oh no,
it's
no,
prevalent. No. Yeah, I see. That is the funny thing, isn't it? That on the internet, you're like, oh my god, so many idiots everywhere I look. But really, if you were to walk down the street, the percentage would be just the same, probably.
Oh, absolutely. And I because I work in social media, and the profile that I manage follows a lot of celebrities and things like that.
Yeah.
And just the amount of people that just comment nothing
Yeah.
on things. I saw one the other day. It was by I think it was Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
This one girl just said, "Great post." I mean, what? I just don't understand.
But there was the chance that Chris Pratt replied to that saying, "Thanks."
Is this what it is?
And that would have made her day.
Yeah.
Sure, I think it is, because I've seen similar posts to that where they're just nothing.
Yeah.
They're not adding to the conversation. It's essentially just a little wave saying, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah. Hey, it's me. Notice me.
Yeah. But Chris Pratt, I don't know if there was even a minute chance that he might notice me. Could improve my life. I don't know that.
You would
Do you
say
know that?
great post.
Yeah, I would say great post. No, I'd say fantastic post.
Okay, so you're thinking the compliment wasn't high enough.
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, not just
Chris.
that, but I'm just trying to one up the other
Right.
person. If somebody had said fantastic, I would have said,
You should be like, Chris, real talk. This is the best post I've ever seen.
yeah.
He'd be like, man, this one. He knows.
Yeah, that's true. But then you could have, again, if I'm trying to one up a person, like you said that,
Yeah.
and I'd say, "Hey, Chris, this is the best post I've ever seen, and I've seen more posts." So, you know, there's always a way to one up other people in the world just so Chris Pratt might notice you. So,
If you learn anything from this podcast,
if there's one thing you
make
take
sure
away
it's
from
that.
it, one up people to get Chris Pratt's attention. Okay. Here's another one for you. This is by Zaltina. It starts with an X. How do you pronounce an X? X-ray? Yeah, I can do that one. X-Altina.
Okay,
There you go.
yeah, that works.
There was a time where one could watch all the existing movies within one lifespan.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, after one existed, then yes, technically at that point.
You could watch the first ever film was the Lumiere brothers. It was called...
It was a train, right?
Yeah, the train. Yeah, It was called Train Enter... No, actually it wasn't. It was called Factory Workers Exit the Factory.
Oh, right.
And Train went second.
Oh.
That's like 7 seconds long.
Okay.
You can watch it as many times as you want.
Yeah. I tell you what, you get bored of that one.
Yeah. So the first ever film...
Yeah.
The Lumiere brothers invented the cinema camera.
Yeah.
And it was a film of the Lumiere factory as all the people exited. And it was like their test of their camera.
Yeah, okay.
It was the first developed film kind of ever. But for a good years and years, they were seconds long.
Yeah. I want to get to my point after this. But, so the one that I heard was first. I know it wasn't first, but... The train, the train one, right?
That was the first like publicly screened.
Oh yeah, in a cinema or something.
It was actually in a cafe because Lumiere brothers, they're so French.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody had a baguette.
And they spoke with thick French accents in English.
Gosh, so weird.
We have a filmier d'aujourd'hui. So yeah, it was in a cafe, and they screened footage of a train coming into a station, and people had never seen it before, so they all freaked out. They all dove for cover because they thought a train was going to hit them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, I think that's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
That people saw something that was so bewildering that even though they kind of knew that it wasn't real, or it was more the fact that their mind couldn't comprehend what was happening.
Yeah.
I think is just so brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think there's anything, bar aliens coming to the world, I don't think there's anything I could see where I would just be so bewildered, so just taken aback that I just don't understand what's going on. I'm scared because my brain can't process it the right way.
You know what kind of comes close? It's not quite that, but this is this isn't real, but your brain doesn't care. Mm-hmm. Is playing anything scary in virtual reality.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know that it's not real, and it's a screen in front of your eyes, and a lot of people are like, it looks dumb.
Yeah.
But anyone I've ever put into Resident Evil 7...
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because there's something about your brain that's like, no, I know this isn't real.
Yeah.
But maybe you should get out of here.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird trick that it plays, and I don't know what it's. So it's not quite the same level, but it definitely has that. I am aware this isn't real.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
still
right.
completely freaked out.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I think though it's still the idea is like some people essentially watching that train video could have had the thought that this is a portal into a place where a train is coming out.
Yeah.
Like their mind can't fathom it.
But I mean, you think of it in that term, but there were things before this that were like kinescopes and stuff like that you would view down and you would wind and it would move. Like it didn't just suddenly there was moving pictures. It built up to that.
Yeah.
The Lumiere brothers just invented the first cinema camera that had celluloid film. That could, so there was like animation and there was things like this.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. I'm blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
Really.
Do
you know what I reckon? This is what I reckon actually happened, right? People watched it and they were like, okay. And they politely clapped. They were like, well, it's just a train.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not very exciting. But while it was going on, there was a French guy. We'll call him Jean-Paul. He was leaning back
in a thick French accent, but speaking English.
He spoke like this, and he chewed on a baguette with a cigarette in his mouth, and he's leaning back in his chair. I don't know why. I am Jean-Paul. I talk in third person. He's Jean-Paul. That's me.
It's a good accent.
Was leaning back in his chair, and then when the train came, I saw something funny at the window, and I fell over, and then the Lumiere brothers, the Lumiere brothers, they were like, people were so scared of the train, they ran away. I think they're blowing it out of proportion.
It could be that. It just could be a real good PR spin.
Yeah.
Like, you know how sometimes you'll see on like a movie poster like a quote. It's like ... the best film ever ...
Yeah.
But you're like, I don't know what the rest of that sentence was.
Yeah.
So maybe they showed it at the restaurant, everyone politely clapped, and then everyone got up and left.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, people ran out of the
Yeah.
cafe because of the film.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how I think it happened.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Interesting. We're on to you, Lumiere brothers.
Yeah. You'll be going down.
In history.
Yeah.
Inventing the motion picture camera.
It was pretty good. But what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
about
you
this
had a
question. Okay. So back to what this said, just to refresh your memory. There was a time where one could watch all existing movies within one lifespan.
Yep.
I was thinking, do you think that if you eliminate short films
Yeah.
and you only include films that you personally think are good films, you could limit that to one lifetime?
Potentially, but that depends, because there's a lot of films.
I'm saying the ones that even you may not have watched, but you think possibly there are X amount of other films out there that you think would be good enough to be on this list. Would you then be able to watch all of them in your lifetime?
You could, but even if you watched all the films that you just knew about being good, you're like, that's like a drop in the ocean.
Yeah. There's
You know
tons
what I mean?
more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So even if you go through the IMDb top 1,000, and like I'm going to start there, that is the smallest sliver of the smallest sliver of what is available, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I suppose, and even when you think about it like that, that's totally doable.
Yeah,
1,000 movies just in one, and I bet you I wouldn't even think all of those are good.
no.
And I couldn't probably replace them with other movies that aren't in that list that
But,
I
like,
would think are good.
And you're just thinking in terms of like American and English and Australian releases. Bollywood makes more movies than
I
Hollywood.
was thinking
a year.
about that too. No,
As
before
soon
this
as you
question,
get into
yeah.
Indian, Asian cinema, all of these markets that just absolutely drowned Hollywood for the amount of films they make a year.
Yeah,
No
that's
way.
true. Okay, how about if you could speak all languages? So you were then including Bollywood and other Asian films and, I don't know, Indonesian and whatever. Then is that too many films?
Yeah.
Still going with the idea of just taking the ones that you think are good?
I mean,
I know that's a total hypothetical because you don't know.
I don't even have a reference point for how many it would be, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
Good.
I don't know whether that's yes, that is achievable, or yes, that's too many.
I think
It's
leave it
just
open-ended.
yes.
I'm glad that you tied that up with such a simple answer
Yeah, good.
because I realized that it was so hypothetical that it was in fact a boring conversation.
Unlike that interesting discussion about the Lumiere brothers.
Oh, yeah.
With very good French accents.
I miss that Jean-Paul guy. Okay. I suppose we should move on. Yeah, okay. Let's move into Ask Reddit.
Ask Reddit.
This Ask Reddit is by Jade the Lost One. What is the last song you would listen to if you knew you were going to die?
Ooh. Now, okay, this comes down to how I'm going to die, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like whether I want the song to be melancholy or whether I want it to give me a last little bit of joy, you know.
Give me scenario one.
A melancholy? Okay, it's probably the song I've always said that I would maybe have played at my funeral, just to bring this comedy podcast up a notch.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
We've spoken about this before on the comedy podcast that we do.
Then, okay, Nelson, if your memory is so good, what is the song?
I'm going to know it as soon as you say it.
I don't know, it's maybe.
Yeah, because I remember, because every time you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a bit of an odd song where I think I know it or something, and I can't remember.
Well, my joke has always been I want my funeral song to be Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
But that's just a classic
Well, that's not
joke.
the melancholy one.
Yeah. But maybe that would be my funny one.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I've always wanted the song Angela's by Elliott Smith. Very, very
Yeah.
melancholy, acoustic, kind of downer of a song, as every Elliott Smith song is.
Yeah. Wait, so paint me the scenario of
Death Row. Let's say I'm on death row.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, good. What,
For
what?
murdering, but
What?
I murdered murderers, so it's not so bad.
Oh, okay. And you got the death penalty for that. Were you in Texas
I
at the
killed
time?
a couple of innocents in there. I was unsure about myself.
Okay.
I killed them anyway just to be sure.
Well, that's
Turns out I
fair.
shouldn't have.
Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
that.
So I deserve it.
Okay.
but but I was trying to do the right thing.
All right.
So I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's...
Is that the perfect situation? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's good. I'm glad you explained it well.
Yeah, I'd probably... Because then I think everyone would be bummed out. You know?
Yeah. There's like victims of the family. They're like, oh man, this song really gets
Or
me.
like the guards, like, you get one song. I'm like, all right, and I put that on, and then the dulcet tones of Elliott Smith are there, and they're like, oh man,
They start weeping.
we got to kill this guy soon. Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
Oh, that's a good idea. Then you
Right.
get off because they're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Now that
Like,
I
hey,
see
don't
you,
plug your ears. You listen
like-
to this.
Yeah, that's right.
Think about my mortality.
Yeah. There's a few of them going la 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 la.
And then or you could go maybe for some like historical context and seem really deep and meaningful.
Okay.
Like for instance, famously Ned Kelly on his last night sung to himself all night. He sung "In the Sweet By and By," which is an old church hymn.
Okay.
And maybe you could do that, and then there'd just be that one guy that'd be like, "Oh, nice reference."
Okay.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, that's true. What was the famous quote he said as well before he died, Ned Kelly?
Such is life.
Yeah. You could just do lots of Ned Kelly references.
Yeah.
And then there's one guy that's like, I get it, but why? I don't know. Were you related to him or something?
You guys are very different.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. I like it though. It's good.
What about you?
Well, Canberra, I'm disappointed.
And you're not much of a music guy, so I'm interested.
Well,
Would you play Reddit on Reddit?
You
You got one song left. Alrighty.
Yeah. That's right. And then I'd be like, every Monday, listen out for this show. Well, not next Monday and the following Mondays after that. I mean, Canberra might continue on, but...
You're receiving a lot. We've got a whole setup here. I'm not just going to throw it out.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. We can make a pact that if one of us dies, like, we should just do this anyway, because only because it'd be a waste of equipment otherwise.
Yeah. But, like, do it with someone else. Or do it by ourselves.
Oh, okay. Do it by yourself, but you have to impersonate the other person.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Reddit on Reddit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. See? You've got it. Nailed it. Okay, so this is I'm disappointed that you didn't think in this one, Canberra, right?
Yeah.
Loophole. This is a song that never ends. But so I thought that first. I was like, obviously, that's what I would go for. Because I imagine similar sort of scenario, right? Maybe I'm like, just for something different. I'm held at gunpoint by a mafia boss,
Right.
and he's like, "All right, I'll give you one more song."
It's the episode of Accent.
Yeah. I'm nailing these, by the way.
Nelson, you betrayed the family. Before I kill you, you can listen to one song.
Yeah, and they say, well, I will listen to the song that never ends. And then it just keeps going. And I mean, look, at some point, I imagine the cops got to bust that place. You know?
The song is very long, but I'm very respectful.
Yeah.
I will wait.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we'll wait for this song to end. You're lucky my English is not that good.
I do not know what he is saying in the song.
So that's plan number one. Yeah. Plan number two is when I'm just, I don't know, on my deathbed somewhere.
Sure. In the hospital, the doctor comes.
Nelson,
Yeah.
you're gonna die.
I think, okay, this is I think the song that I would like
Okay.
is always look on the bright side of
A
life.
little bit of Eric Idle to get you across.
Yeah, I think because I don't know. I don't think I'd want to listen to a melancholy sort of song because mine is Hallelujah.
Yep.
Specifically Jeff
Buckley's,
Buckley's rendition.
How pedestrian, Nelson.
I know. I'm just a classic guy. But yeah, I think that I wouldn't want to do. I want that at my funeral so people fucking cry.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, but that's why I wanted everyone else around me to feel bad.
Yeah,
You see.
while you're being injected with a lethal dose of
While I'm
poison.
foaming at the mouth and convulsing.
Okay. But yeah, I just think a song that I would genuinely like to, listen to is that song.
Okay.
Especially the lyric that goes, "Life is pretty shit when you look at it."
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, oh, I don't care about life. I don't care about dying right now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. A good one, I guess. This next one, Cambo, this next Ask Reddit, is by Express Rooster.
Ooh.
You can get a Rooster Express.
Yep.
You can teleport an adult T-Rex. I'm not sure if we've had this one before. You can teleport an adult T-Rex into any location in history. Where do you place it to cause the most chaos?
Ooh. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with that.
Okay.
But wouldn't it be just an amazing spectacle?
Before you go on, let's just say, for all the episodes that are on them, we don't want to be disrespectful for any future episode.
Wouldn't it be, like, just think of this spectacle-wise. If that dinosaur was on the beaches at D-Day in Normandy.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That would cause a lot of...
And again, a lot of people died, so I don't want to minimize it.
But I mean...
More people would die with the dinosaur, that's all I'm saying.
Well, would they? I don't know. That provides a bit of cover.
Is it a trained dinosaur?
Yeah.
Could the Allies
on
jump?
Which side is it on? Yeah.
That's what I mean. The last thing you want is a Nazi dinosaur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It does seem like the worst. Yeah.
It's
and
like
Nazi
just the
T-Rex.
thing they would do as well.
Yeah, that's right. If Captain America's taught me anything, man, those Nazis got some crazy ideas.
Do you think there's a show, I think it's on Netflix, called Danger 5.
Right.
Which is like an old parody of like the 1950s, like old Captain America style serials. Yeah. And I think it's Australian. You should check it out. Okay. But I think the plot is that there are Nazi dinosaurs in this World War II thing. It's very funny, very camp.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
So maybe I just stole that idea.
Okay. I think you did. But would you say that causes the most chaos? Because really, it's already chaotic. You've just made it chaotic-er.
Okay. The upcoming royal wedding, then.
That's a good one. Yeah, just a
That's how you get all eyes off Meghan Markle.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking T-Rex.
What's the biggest? Really, you just need to know what's been the biggest gathering in the world.
I mean, there's Woodstock. I mean, it's not obviously not the biggest, but it's very famous for a big peace gathering.
There was a lot of people. Actually, you know what I think? I think there's a religious gathering that happens once every so often.
I'm sure
and it's meant to be the biggest. I don't even know whether it's Christianity or if it's another religion.
Yeah.
I think it might be Christianity, actually.
What, in the Vatican?
No, it's somewhere else. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a Christian thing. Maybe it's yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
You'd send it there.
It's a huge... But then I don't want to be... I mean, I know I'm an atheist, but I don't really want to,
start a religious war.
Yeah, exactly. People would be like, oh, man, it was the bloody Hindus that dropped that T-Rex into there.
If you are going after Christianity, that's the thing you want to do. There is the thing that they say that the world is only a certain amount of years old, right? That's what Christians believe.
Yeah.
Which doesn't allow for the time of dinosaurs to have existed.
Right, yeah.
So you could drop it in and be like, where did that come from?
Okay, that's a good point.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they'd be like, oh, probably God.
Yeah, because I think their thing says that the world is 6 million years old.
Yeah.
That's their belief, as the Bible states.
Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think it would be. You think it would be like, oh, how'd that get there? But again, it's for every answer of theirs, it's God. Yeah. It's like they cannot be. They cannot be
in mysterious ways.
They cannot be stumped on any. Feel like, oh, how did all these bones get here? God, obviously. Yeah. It's not.
Tell you what,
they're not fooled. Okay?
If you want the most amount of people, I'll tell you this, Nelson. Don't go to Donald Trump's inauguration. Am I right? Reddit gets political.
Bazinga!
That joke is 2 years too late.
Yeah, that's
when we started this podcast, I should have made that joke. Everyone would have been very topical.
Yeah. There would just be polite claps. Yes, good work. Okay. Anywhere else you'd put a T-Rex?
No, I'm going to stick with the royal wedding, I think, now.
Okay. I'm going to say whatever I said. What did I say?
Whatever vague gathering.
No, it's not just... Okay, if that's not the biggest gathering in the world, whatever the biggest gathering in the world is, which is kind of a cop-out that I don't really know.
No, that's fine.
I mean, if you just plopped it in the middle of, any city, That's going to be pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
Except Tokyo. They have that shit all the time.
That's true. They're like, oh, it's only a T-Rex.
Another one. Oh,
This guy doesn't
get out the giant robot again to kill
This
it.
guy doesn't even have atomic breath. Yawn.
Yeah, that's right. Man, that'd be so over it.
Or, okay. No, I know we're trying to move on. But
Okay.
what if you drop it on the set while they're filming Jurassic Park?
Oh my god. That would be real good.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's like, Steven, how'd you do this? Like, I didn't! Run!
Yeah. But keep the cameras rolling. Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe that's why the CGI looks so good for a movie from 1993. Everyone's like, how did they do it? It still holds up.
Yeah.
Wow, now we know.
You'd want to make sure that you dropped it at the right time though, right?
Yeah.
Like in
You
the
wanna help
last
them.
scene that they're filming. You know, you don't want to do it at the start. Like, I want to see a movie where there's one scene that's real. Maybe some actors die. I don't know.
Watch The Crow.
It's a risk they're willing to take. The Crow. What?
There's a movie called The Crow with Brandon Lee, son of Bruce Lee. And he died in production
Oh.
because he was shot. But the gun that they shot him with, it's a scene where he's being shot by all sides
Yeah.
of people. But one of the guns didn't have a blank, it had a real bullet, and he was shot. And the urban legend is that shot is still in the movie.
Oh. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Good movie.
So that was the last scene that they filmed, essentially.
They kind of Fast and Furious 7'd it. They filmed it with like body doubles and stuff
CGI.
to finish it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it was one of the last in the
Right.
shoot. So
Oh,
he was more or less
I
finished.
had sort of heard of that story. I forgot that it was him, and for that reason. But I heard there was a, you know, false bullet.
Yeah.
A false bullet. Yes. Okay, Cambo. That's it for Ask Reddit. Now we can get into
Our favourite segment.
Our favourite segment. This is the questions to make you like us.
Yes.
We're up to question number 17.
Yep. A little bit of context, because everyone loves context. We did 36 questions to make you fall in love with us. Mm-hmm. You did that. You fell in love with us. We got a fear of commitment.
Yeah.
So now we're asking another 36 questions to get you just to like us.
Yeah. I got bored of introing it.
Yeah.
Last week I didn't intro it.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, you meant to do an intro song for that. This is like third week.
That was my intro song.
Okay.
I'll put a beat behind that.
It was terrible. Okay. This one is, where are you from? Name all the places you've lived.
Okay, so how nitpicky do you want us to get with this?
I mean, don't just say Australia or Melbourne.
But
I think you need to go like suburbs
no
because
one
otherwise
cares.
we're boring.
That's the least interesting thing I've ever heard.
Okay, how do we make this interesting then,
You
Cambo?
don't, that's my point. Like, I've never lived anywhere but Melbourne. Let's move on. Because if you're just naming suburbs that most people haven't heard of, it's like when people are giving you their email address. It's so boring.
Never in my life have I asked somebody their email address
No, the
and
other
expected an entertaining answer. You know, like what do you always like? Hey, what's your email? Oh, I'm so bored. Right now.
The other day, because he had to spell it. Yeah, it was not good. But my point is, you're always like, oh, where did you grow up? And they're like, Terrelgan. You're like, cool.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to say about that.
Jargon's interesting. That's like sort of more country-ish. I'd be like, hey, what was the schooling life
It's
like?
fine.
Okay. God, Trelgans are boring, aren't they? Anyway, I lived in Ferntree Gully, and then Hawthorne or something.
Yep.
And then where were we? Glenaris.
I mean, we lived together in not Ferntree Gully for some time.
Yeah, that's true. What? Oh, yeah, we moved. See, look how interesting this conversation has gotten. I
disagree.
I bloody forgot a suburb that I lived in. Isn't that crazy?
I grew up, Nelson. Let me get it. I grew up in the small town of Menzies Creek.
Oh, that's boring. Let's move on. Okay.
A few stops later, I'm here.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, Gambo, we can get into the Ask Me Anything.
Sure.
We're listeners of the show, just like you, listener. Can ask us anything you want. Got a couple of questions here.
Yeah, I got one here from Mitch. You want
right.
to hear this one?
I would love to hear this one.
Okay, because if you said no, I was just going to skip it.
Okay.
All right, I have a question for the AMA. What is the last thing you want to hear from a waiter whilst on a first date? Mitch. Look, it would be a bit of a bummer if on your first date the waiter kind of leans over and goes, "Oh, Mr. Campbell, your wife is on the phone."
Okay.
Just really kills the vibe every time.
Yeah.
But if I was a waiter and I saw someone on a first date, I'd definitely do that. Regardless of whether they had a wife or not.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Allingham, your wife's on the phone.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hmm.
Would you really try to sell it a lot, right? Like if he's like, "What? No, I'm not married. You've got the wrong person." Will you then because I'm thinking you pull out a ring. Maybe you've got a ring on.
Okay.
And you say, no, I think you should take the call. Also, here's the wedding ring you gave me earlier. You should put this back on. Really try to dig that, because obviously, if there was a cheating guy, he's just going to pretend like it's not him anyway.
Yeah.
So you really want to solidify.
No, I would make more of a scene, I think. What I would do. So I said to you, I'm like, "Mr. Allingham, your wife's on the phone." And you said...
And I'm like, "What? I'm not married. I don't know what you're talking about."
I'm sorry. Hang on. And I'll go back to the phone and very loudly be like, "I'm Mr. Allingham." He says, "Not him." "Yep. Yeah, no, blue checkered shirt. Yeah, yep."
Okay.
Okay. And I put it back down again. She seems to think it is you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good idea. What happens when he takes a phone call?
If I can get him up to the phone,
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
I
a
won.
win.
It's that girl, no matter what happens,
You just-
that girl's like, "This is weird."
You pump your fist into the air, and you're like, "Yes, I did it." Freeze frame, jump, freeze frame.
Yeah. But I'm the only one that freezes.
Yeah. Okay. Good one. Yeah, I'm thinking. I guess you just say, if they were like, "Oh, hey, did you give me herpes?" Something pretty innocent, you know. I think that's probably the worst.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine a line in which the the meal is relevant to what they say.
Right. Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I was
that's true.
thinking, waiter, okay, gotta because essentially this could be, "Oh, hey, what if somebody came up to you on the street while you're on a first date?"
Yeah, that's true.
We need it very
waiter specific.
waiter specific.
Sure. The roofies you've ordered are in the meal, sir.
Oh, that's a good one, actually. Yeah. Oh,
It's not a good thing to do. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, don't do that one. Yeah. Or I'm not sure which one the roofies. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Any more?
No.
Okay.
I'm out of jokes.
Good.
Checking my pockets. I'm all out of jokes.
You were out of jokes a long time ago.
Bloody got me.
Episode 54.
My
I
self-esteem
was
is
counting.
shot.
No, don't worry. Mine was 27. Okay. We have one here from Cousin Rowan. You know what? It's sort of a long email, and I forgot to cut it down, so I'll just read fast, I guess. Okay. Would you like me to read this as Jean-Paul?
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Firstly to Bill. Okay, gentlemen. Firstly to Bill, who mentioned me in a relation to a childhood literature reference. Sorry, Bill, no idea what you're talking about. Literature and I didn't really get along for most of my life until I discovered audiobooks. Either way, always appreciate being name dropped.
Yeah, take that, Bill.
Yeah.
It's not often Bill is wrong about anything.
I know.
So you really have to take it when you get it.
Yeah, that's right.
You idiot! You're the dunce of the show, Bill!
Yeah, Bill's the worst. Okay. Nelson, I too recall making a box in woodwork at school. Interestingly, I basically failed woodwork as I didn't make all of the required pieces of a box.
I've got all 4 pieces. No, Rowan, no, you need more.
Oh my god. He just made like a cylinder. Okay, anyway, something about I was more about quality over quantity, but it seemed my teacher thought any piece of shit would do. I've attached a photo of the deck in progress. This is not even important. I would have cut this out had I read it earlier.
For new listeners, we were getting updates on Rowan's deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense out of context. It didn't make much sense in context.
I mean, it looks good.
Okay.
Okay. Looks fine.
Okay. What's his question?
So, I work in a large office environment, and the kitchen near my office has every conceivable version of a coffee pod machine. I noticed the Nespresso machine was missing its water tank, rendering it unusable, and later found that the owner keeps the tank at his desk so that only he can use it. What a dick. Should I prank this guy? And if so, what should I do that won't get me fired?
Ooh.
That is such a dick move.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's actually... Because the thing is, okay, if you bought your own, like, I don't know, you bought your own something that was, like, I don't know, coffee, you have your own coffee.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But then I would also expect that you take it to your desk or something. Because he's actually using kitchen space to put this machine. Like, that's just the worst. What a massive
And it's
dick.
not like people are using his coffee. It just, occasionally he must get there and it's out of water.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a really petty thing. Yeah, if it's, have it on your desk if you don't want anyone to use it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, because does he have the coffee pods just out there? But people are like, oh, well, I can't use it because it doesn't have the water thing. I mean, it would make more sense to take the coffee pods to his desk. Mm-hmm. So then if people wanted it, they could use it, but they'd have to buy their own version of that.
Yep.
That'd make more sense. Anyway, that's not what this is about. This is about revenge.
But, okay, if you wanted to prank, I'm going to go for a very lo-fi prank. Okay. And this is a prank just to make him doubt himself and maybe his sanity.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a little bit of finesse, Rowan. Mm-hmm. But you get all these pods, all these different flavors. Okay. And you empty them all out. And then you put them into all the opposite containers, and then you reseal them all. So every morning he's like, I want like this kind of coffee. And he just, every day he's going to be like, this isn't quite what I wanted. Like, it's just I just slowly chip away at what he thinks, and then wait for him to get adjusted to it. Yeah. And then switch it back.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's kind of like...
It's just such a small...
It's up there with things like if you just take the batteries out of someone's remote in their house, like all the remotes. They're just going to be like, did I have... No, I must have had... No, that's silly. Yeah, who would have done that?
Yeah. God, I don't know. I'm not good at pranks.
Yeah, kick him in the head.
Shoot him. I don't know why, but I just think it would sort of be funny if you got a bunch of extension cords one day. And you got his machine and you just put it really far. If you can, if you can climb a flight of stairs, that's the pinnacle. Yeah. And so you just plug it in, maybe with a little note, because he'll walk in and there'll just be a bunch of extension cables, and he'd be like, "What's this for?" And he'd go to make his coffee, and he's like, "My bloody coffee machine's not here." He might not put the two and two together, so you have a little note saying, "If you own this machine, we've put it," and you just put it like on the roof or something, and you've just got a ton of things. It might take a while,
but okay. So here's the icing on the cake for that: go online and buy a replacement water thing, and put it in wherever you put it. Okay. So not only does he get there, but people are using it.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Even better. You put the machine. You buy the replacement thing, and you put the machine outside on the street with a sign that says "free coffee." And you buy the pods as well. Yeah. And just strangers, just tons of people are using his machine.
Set up a small cafe.
Yeah. A small cafe. That'd be good. I like that, actually.
Screen the Lumiere brothers film, just, for reference.
Yeah. I think...
yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. Cool. Do something like that.
Yeah. Or kick him in the head.
Or kick him in the head. That never fails.
Yeah.
That always gets a laugh.
Yeah. That's why MMA is so funny.
Yeah. Another classic, obviously, fart in your hand and then rub it in his face.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that one. Okay, that's it for Reddit on Reddit.
I'm sure it's done.
Episode 85. Remember a few episodes ago you said 86, and we're not even there yet.
We're almost up to that elusive 86 that I keep promising.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we're done.
And do you know what happened on that episode? I can't remember which episode it was. Maybe like 83, 82 or something. You said, the very first thing you said was, in episode 86, I was going to tell you my real name.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering whether you've got a real name that I'm going to find out on 86, because technically you promised that.
Well, I'll wait till
That's-
next week to find out.
Okay.
Yeah, and we
Well,
have
you might be Michael Sicko Sickington.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
We have some pretty cool stuff coming up as well. We may have a crossover of some kind coming up that we
Oh, yes.
can't really talk about. Oh, we can probably.
Wait. No, let's make it a surprise.
Okay.
We've got a guest coming on this week. We're recording early on the Sunday.
Yep.
And then the week after,
Yeah.
another 2 guests. What, 2? Crazy.
Crossover with another more popular podcast.
Or are they? We don't know that.
No, they probably are.
They probably are.
They did live shows and people went.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've never done one.
That people were coming.
So
We know that.
we could have... Were you at their live show?
Sure.
They probably made it up, is all I'm saying. Okay. That's it for us, Reddit on Reddit.
Well,
if you would like to write into us, you can do so by emailing us, Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
You can reach us at Facebook, at Twitter, on our subreddit. They're all READIT podcast.
Yep.
You can also subscribe.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, you can do that.
We
but
would love you to
We'd
subscribe.
appreciate it if you subscribe.
Yes. Or tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
That'd
Tell
be
a friend.
awesome.
Rate us on iTunes.
Yep.
It helps us. And that's it.
Yep. Until next time.
We will
Bye.
reach you later.